Hello! In this series of videos I'm going to show you how to quickly and easily hypnotise yourself and make positive changes in your life, even if you're the kind of person who thinks you're too logical, too analytical and hypnosis just won't work on them. Because I used to be like that and now I'm a hypnotist. So I'm really going to do all I can to help you achieve this state of hypnosis, which you've all done before. You've all done it thousands of times in the past. Now I know that people want to get straight into the hypnosis, or let's do the fun part, but please listen to this next section carefully, because the part where I'm going to talk about what hypnosis is vital. If you skip over this and get it wrong, then you'll be trying to do something that won't work because you're aiming for the wrong thing. So what is hypnosis? Hypnosis is simply a state of focus, and you've all done it before. Think of a time you've been lost in a book. You're reading a book and you lose track of time. Maybe you've been driving and you're in a traffic jam and you're staring at a sign at the side of the road and the car behind beeps the horn. Oh, you didn't notice the traffic has moved. We've all done it, daydreaming, losing yourself. That's what it is. But we're going to exaggerate and amplify that state. Now, something you need to know is all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. You can't hypnotise someone else. This isn't up to me to zap you with some magic power, right? It doesn't work like that. Hypnosis is self-hypnosis. So you can only guide someone into hypnosis. You can't force them into it. Even though there are ways where it looks like you can, which I maybe cover in a different series, you can't. It's all self-hypnosis. You need to understand that hypnosis is not as dramatic as you might think. So people often think that, oh, when I'm hypnotised, someone's going to say sleep, and I'm going to go, oh, and I'm going to be in this deep trance, and I'll be unconscious. You're not unconscious when you're in hypnosis. I often use the term subconscious because we're working with the unconscious. That does not mean you've got to be unconscious. You don't have to punch yourself in the face, knock yourself out and be unconscious. We are working with the unconscious. We're not being unconscious. So when you do hypnosis, what most people will feel is often nothing. They'll just say, well, I didn't really feel anything. Yeah, that's what it is for many people. Some people feel tired. Some people say they feel more relaxed. When I do it, I don't feel anything. I think, well, I'm in it. I know I'm doing it, but I don't feel anything. And that's where people go wrong. They're looking for something that is not going to happen for them. Yes, other people may. I've had it where I've hypnotised. When I say I've hypnotised people, I've helped guide them into hypnosis, and they have gone, oh, in a very dramatic trance. But that's not for everyone. So please understand that it's not the same for everyone. And if you go looking for this dramatic mega state of being in a deep trance, you may not get that, or even if you do, you may not necessarily feel it. So let's move on to how to hypnotise yourself. I'm going to give you 3 different ways of doing this, and for it to work, you must want it to work and expect it to work. If you sit there saying, it won't work on me, I challenge you, go on then, hypnotise me, not going to work on me. You've completely missed the point of what I just said in the introduction, and it won't work because hypnosis is a permissive state. You can't force it on people, no matter what you may think from watching people online. You have to want it to work for it to happen. So the first exercise we're going to do is called buckets and balloons. Now this is a really fun one, and this works on most people. So all I want you to do is, and first of all, before we do any of this, I should mention a safety precaution. Please do not do any of this if you have bipolar, schizophrenia, epilepsy or asthma. Now with schizophrenia and bipolar, it's simply because doing hypnosis can make those things worse. With epilepsy and asthma, there is a small chance it could trigger an attack. So please do check that with your doctor first. Don't do this if you're in any doubt at all. I don't want to worry you if you haven't got those things, but there are certain mental conditions you need to check if you've got any kind of mental problems. Not things like anxiety, not a common form of anxiety, but if you've got some deeper mental problem, do ask a medical professional before doing this. But most people will be fine. So let's get on to the first little exercise we're going to do. This is a fun one, and I want you to be somewhere where it'll be safe for you to fall asleep. Now, you probably won't fall asleep. This is only the basic introduction. We're not doing the full hypnotic trance. But it's always good to be in a situation, a location, where it will be safe to fall asleep. So, sit like this, just with your legs and arms in front of you, like that. I mean, your legs probably won't be behind you anyway. Right. So, what I want you to do is to put your arms up in the air like this. If you want, just do one to begin with. Just choose one arm. Now, I want you to just focus on your wrist here. Then imagine that someone has tied a piece of string around your wrist, and there is a big, massive balloon above it, and it's filling with helium. And that balloon is getting lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter. And as the balloon rises and rises and rises, notice what's happening with my arm. And I'm not doing that. If I put it down, it just goes back up. And I'm not consciously doing that. That's my subconscious believing there is a balloon full of helium tied to it. If I say the balloon's gone, it drops. Now I know and I understand that many people might just say, oh, that's just fake. You're just doing this and you're just pretending. I'm not faking that, right? When I do it, I'm not moving my arm consciously. If I do it like this, it might even look different on the camera, on the video. When I do it, I feel that there is some kind of pressure here. This is the interesting thing. It's not here, it's here. It's like there's a big ball of energy and someone is pushing this ball up, and I feel the energy like now. Even when I do it without the balloon, this energy here, I feel like that. See, that's because I'm so used to it. This is so weird. Even though I've been doing it for years, I'm not doing that. I'm not pushing, I'm not lifting my arm in the normal way. And when you do this properly, please let me know in the comments, are you experiencing that? If I do this, I've got a big ball of energy. You can do it many different ways. If you don't imagine a balloon, imagine you've got a ball of energy in your hand, and I'm doing this. It's incredible. I'm not doing that. I'm not lifting my arm consciously. I'm just pushing it with a ball of energy. And what's interesting is that's the first time I've ever thought of doing that. That's just come to me as I was doing this video. I've never once thought of pushing with a ball of energy before. But it works. Did that work for you? If not, don't worry, there are other methods. I'll show you. Put your arm out again. This time imagine you've got a bucket in your hand and it's filling with water or sand or cement or whatever you want to imagine. And my hand is now going down. Why? Why is this happening? If we're going to push it up, and it goes down again. Because subconsciously, I'm thinking that I'm holding a bucket of sand. And this is the point. This whole video opens access to your subconscious. So when I imagine a balloon, it goes up. Now I am faking it now. I'm just moving it manually, consciously. It goes up or it goes down. So put both arms out now. And imagine in this hand, I'm going to imagine I've got a balloon. And in this hand, there's a bucket. Wow, that's going really fast. Because the more you do it, the better it works. This hand's gone down. I know you can't see it on the video. This hand's up. Now, I'm going to tell my subconscious to switch. That hand's got a bucket in. And this hand's got a balloon. And I'm not doing this. I'm not moving my arms consciously. They're moving themselves. And I hope you feel that. Drop the bucket, get a ball of energy, push. That is so weird. And I hope you can experience that, because the point is, this gets you past the stage of, it won't work for me, nothing's happening, I can't be hypnotised. But if you believe that, well, fine, I can't help you, because that's just you believing it won't happen. And in the same way, if you believe it will happen, it does. If you believe it won't happen, it won't. It always makes you laugh, that, even though I've been doing it for years. So that opens up access to your subconscious. That in itself is not really hypnosis, it's just getting into your subconscious. If that doesn't work, notice what I did with my hands there. That's funny, because I'm going to go on to the second one now. When the second one we're going to do is to do with your fingers. So my mind knew I was going to do that, and it did this. Ready? The more you do this, the more your mind will talk to you, and it's quite weird. I didn't believe any of this stuff. Remember, years ago, I thought it's all rubbish. Even when I went to train as a hypnotherapist, I thought it's a load of rubbish. I don't think it's going to work. When you've experienced it in a method that works for you, that's the one that worked for me. It's brilliant. So the next one we're going to do is with your hands, and it's called magnetic fingers. So can anyone guess what's going to happen here? What I need to do is put your hands together like that, clasp them together, and then in a moment, not just yet, but in a moment, we're going to put your fingers up like that and keep them about 1 inch, 3 centimetres roughly apart. So get your hands ready, pull them up, and get ready to stare at the gap between your fingers. So raise your fingers now, stare at the gap, and imagine 2 powerful magnets pulling together, pulling, pulling, pulling. And those hypnosis magnets are pulling your fingers together. They're pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling, and they're getting closer and closer and closer and closer until they touch. Now, isn't that strange when you do that and your fingers come together? Now, I don't use that one as much. It works really well for many people. I won't get too much into this for now, but there is a reason why I don't actually use that one as much as the others. Nothing wrong with it, but it's a brilliant way of showing people how things can happen without you wanting them to happen. So your fingers come together like that. Another way you can do it, which is slightly different, but put your arms out just like this. I hope you can see this on the video. So my arms are like that. If you can see, I'm just holding my hands about 6 inches or so apart. Focus on the gap in between your hands, and imagine your hands have got 2 massive magnets. In fact, your hands are magnets. Your hands are pulling together, 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 closer, 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 and they touch. And again, I'm not doing that. I'm not sitting here thinking, I'm not doing that. That's different to doing it consciously. When you do it subconsciously, please let me know in the comments when you've got that to work. It feels like you've got the hand on each hand pushing them in. It's just like someone is touching your hands, and it's a strange feeling. Sometimes people get scared and go, oh, I don't like that. But please understand, it's just your subconscious mind, okay? It's nothing nasty or evil. Some people say, oh, it's the evil spirits taking you over. No, it's not. It's just your subconscious mind working. It always makes me laugh. So those are the 2 we've done so far. We've done the bucket and balloons was the first one. That one is magnetic fingers. Another one I can show you, just thinking which other one I can do. I had 3 in mind, I've forgotten them now. Having said my mind helped me. The third one I'm going to do with you. What was the third one? Oh yeah, of course. The third one, I don't do this one much, so I've forgotten it. The third one is called glue finger. So can anyone guess what's going to happen with glue finger? Get your finger and your thumb and pinch them together quite hard as you can, without it hurting much if you've got long nails. And imagine that there is glue sticking your fingers together. Glue there, glue there. I'm going to put some magic hypnotic glue on my finger, and I'm going to go around my fingers, and I'm going to glue my fingers together. And that glue is sticking tight and tight and tight. And give yourself the suggestion, I can't open my fingers. My fingers are glued together, stuck together. I can't open my fingers. My fingers are stuck together. My fingers are stuck together. My fingers are stuck together. And I can feel it getting tighter and tighter. My fingers are stuck together. My fingers are stuck together. And when I try and open them, now, if you try really hard, it feels like you can. If you think there's no glue there now, you can. Now that one doesn't work as well for me. It does work, but it's not as strong as the other ones happen automatically. I find that one for me doesn't work as well. So this is the thing, different things work for different people. We've been over 3 different ones there, well 4 actually. I threw in the one with the arm as well as the fingers. Please do let me know in the comments, how did that work for you? And if they didn't work, don't worry, just do it again. And there is a page on my website which explains more about hypnosis, and I'll link to that in the description, about if it didn't work, maybe that's why. But simply, if you want it to work, you expect it to work, it will work. And sometimes people say, well, I'm just faking it. You're not faking it. You're not just doing this with your arms. When you've got it to work, please do let me know in the comments, because it's important that people kind of, back me up, as it were, and this is not just me sitting here saying this, it's the real thing. Please send in videos of you doing that. Make a video of you doing it. Maybe for the first time, film yourself, send it in, and I'd love to put a video up showing people doing this. But don't fake it, make it real. Send the video in, leave a comment. Maybe I'll put a link to contact me or something in the description. And I'd love to see people doing that. So that's just the first basic stage. And if anyone has gone into a trance, wake up, come back now. You probably haven't, but if anyone has gone into a deep trance, just either enjoy it or wake up. There's nothing to worry about. You can't get stuck in hypnosis, but that we'll be talking about in part 2. So check out these other videos of mine on screen. And if you do want to work with me one-to-one online from anywhere in the world to overcome your problems, you can contact me through my website, firstdrive.com. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you again soon for more videos.